Hey, yeah, what up? It's Power Daddy 8.3 Loco in class in the morning. Special guest in the studio right now. You know him from all the Jackass movies. You've seen him everywhere on television, in theater, in movies, and on books. I'm talking about Steve-O. What's up, man?
Yeah, dude.
Yo. What's going on, bro? Welcome to the Valley.
Well, thank you for having me, man. It's a pleasure to be here.
So you got here yesterday.
I got here on Wednesday.
Oh, you got here on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you had a show last night.
Yeah, it was absolutely hilarious.
Oh, man. What can we expect from a Steve-O show? Because, you know, whenever I think of Steve-O, stand-up comedy doesn't really come to mind.
Sure, man. Well, I started doing stand-up comedy like 5 years ago. It was crazy. I had no plans of trying stand-up comedy, but somebody invited me to a comedy club. They're like, yeah, man, come on down and get on stage and do something crazy, man. It would be awesome. And I didn't give it much thought, but when I showed up, I looked around and I thought, man, if I got on that stage and tried stand-up, that would be the craziest stunt I could possibly do. and I was like, really, like, it was terrifying. I'll never forget, man. I was sitting around waiting for my turn, and what am I gonna do? What am I gonna say? And like, you know, I came up with some stuff. Like, still, I think like I got on that stage like 5 years ago, and I think I said something I still say today sometimes. Like, yeah, I'm in the mood for a blowjob. Anybody want one?
Wow. That's a great way to open it up. Like, whoa, when you never done, did that just come to you?
I just thought it up, but like, that's funny. You don't want to say that in a hip hop station. Yeah.
It's all good, man. It's all good. So, anyway, so you found that you started to like it?
Yeah, well, right away, man. That first time, dude, I got laughs, and I thought, wow, man, I didn't even shove anything up my butt, you know, like, and I just entertained. You know, I didn't hurt myself at all, you know, and people like laughed, and that was like a new experience for me, man. I knew it was something that I wanted to pursue, so I stuck with it, and you know, obviously over the years, like. Since then, I've had a lot that I've been through, and you know, there's been a lot of changes. But when we were filming that third Jackass movie, I was like really just like hitting the comedy clubs hard and putting in the work, you know. And when that movie came out, I started getting offers to be a headliner, you know. And right away at that point, I was like, oh, okay, well now it's going to be a Steve-O show. So I don't know how to sell tickets to a Steve-O show if I'm going to stand there and talk the whole time. You know, I'd feel like I was letting people down. Yeah. So this whole tour, and I've been on tour with it since last November, is part stand-up and part like crazy stunts and tricks. Yeah. You know, so it's not all like I'm giving people like what they know me for, and I'm really like, even though I say it myself, I'm surprising the hell out of people with the stand-up because I've been putting like some serious work into it. And what sets me apart with my comedy from most people, I think, is that like when I'm telling the stories, I'm telling the jokes, like all of that stuff literally happened, and the way that I tell it, you know, like the fact of it being funny is like I just tell the funny stuff that's happened, you know. Yeah. That's what, and it's crazy, man. I really have been working on it, and like, you know, and I've been searching for where my line is, you know, like what's like way too much, like when does it get like too awkward, like what do people not even want to hear, but I've determined that I don't have a line, you know, so like, so I, you know, and I'll even say that, like, I'm like, that's why I'm going to tell you about the time that tranny sucked my dick in D.C., you know, and I tell you, it's a true story, man, like, I tell people, I'm like, you know, I didn't know it was a tranny. You know, I was told that it was someone who was born a hermaphrodite, right? I mean, they were born with, like, male parts and female parts. Right. But they had, like, a surgical operation to remove the male parts, right? And so, like, I'm thinking, that sounds shady. I'll be the first to admit it, right? But, like, I was hammered, okay? And I remember feeling like this individual like was troubled, and I wanted them to feel worthy of affection. So I went through with this whole encounter, right? And then sometime later I'm talking to Dr. Drew, and I tell him the whole story about it. And Dr. Drew's like, oh God, Steve-O, there's no such thing as a hermaphrodite. What happened was a dude sucked your dick. And I was like, oh, damn, Drew. You would expect a dude to do a better job, man. You know? And you know, and I'm like, oh well, screw it, you know. I've had sex with plenty of chicks that looked way more like a dude than that dude did, you know. It's like whatever. And like that's just like an example, you know. Like there's just so much like stuff and like interesting stuff like behind the scenes of Jackass, you know, like I think it, like for anybody who's like been a fan of Jackass, like it's pretty safe to say that they're gonna enjoy this show, you know. Like there's a scene in the in our first Jackass movie called The Whale Shark Gummer, right? Like it's so funny, man. We were filming that first movie, and I was hooking up with this chick, and as soon as this girl pulled out my wiener, she got all serious, right?
Oh my God.
She looks at me and says, I was in a bad accident. I'm thinking, what the hell? Like what? So
out of nowhere?
Yeah, she pulls out my wiener and tells me I was in a bad accident. And then she says, get ready to have a really good time. And then this girl pulls out her upper teeth, right? Like just like a like she lost her upper teeth like in this accident, right? So she just like pulls out like this big denture and like and
no teeth.
Dude, it was awesome.
Oh,
dude, it was totally awesome, man. Like I was blown away.
I'm a little jealous.
So like and I couldn't wait. I'm like, dude, I can't. I'm like, I can't wait to tell Knoxville and the guys. Like, I can't wait. So like, I wasted no time at all, and I go down. I tell Knoxville and the guys. I'm like, dudes, that girl did not give me a Hummer. That was a gummer, dude. You know, I'm like, it's a fucking gummer.
You lucky bastard.
Yeah. Because we all think about it. We do.
Dude, the chick was hot too, man. Like, and the guys are so like happy to hear about it. They literally found a shark with no teeth to bite me in the movie because it's such a funny story. That's why there's a scene in the first Jackass movie called The Whale Shark Gummer, you know? And like, again, man, it's just like it's just an example, I'm so glad that I have, like, you know, that I fell in love with stand-up comedy because, like, you know, there's no end to, like, the stories, you know? Like, when I first, like, I remember, like, this tour started, like, when I was like getting real serious, you know, we were working on Jackass 3. I met Dane Cook, and I was like, dude, man, I really want to like get serious about stand-up. And he was like, oh man, like I'll get you on stage at the LA Improv, man, like next week. So I'm like writing out a whole thing. Yeah. And we sat down after the show, and he gave me notes. He's like, dude, he says, I'm not sending you back to the drawing board, you know, which is like Dane Cook telling me my material was funny, you know, and I was like, man, he's like, we just got to work on your timing, your delivery, you know, and like, then like, night after night, it's me and Dane Cook in the comedy club, and he's like giving me notes and stuff, and like, you know, I had like 10 strong minutes, you know, and then 10 turned into 15, then I had this crazy night when 3 chicks took turns, like giving me pleasure, right? Like, and that story right there, like, I'm like, dude, God wants me to be a stand-up comic because there's no way that happened.
Dude, do you need like a hype man or something? Yeah, I'll be your hype man, man. So I can get the leftovers.
I'm like, there's no way that happened the way it happened. Because I'm like a major premature ejaculator, you know, like just like that's just how it is, you know. Like I mean,
no holds barred with Steve-O, that's for sure.
Dude, I'm quick, man. I'm seriously quick. People ask me that they're like, dude, is there anything that you turn down, anything you wouldn't do? I'm like, yeah, you know, true story. The people from the VH1 network reached out to me and they're like, hey, you know, we've had a lot of success with our dating show format, you know, like Rock of Love, Flavor of Love. Yeah. And like we really want you like to do one of these, exactly like Rock of Love and Flavor of Love, you know? Wow. And I'm like, well, what do you call that? You know, like Steve-O of Love, you know? Imagine how bad this sounds. Flavor of Steve-O. You know, I don't care what you call it though, man. Like, I don't give a crap what you call that show. There's no way that I'm gonna let 30 chicks tell the entire world how fast I come, man. Like, hell no. And you know, so like, I met this one chick, man, at this after party. We were promoting Jackass 3D. And I'm ready to get out of here. You know, you want to give me a ride back to my hotel? And she's like, yeah, sure. So we're getting into her car, and her 2 friends come running up, and they're like, dude, you want 2 more girls? I'm like, hell yeah, I want 2 more girls. So we get back to the hotel, you know, and I'm like laying on the bed, like making out with this one chick, while like the 2 extra chicks are just kind of lurking, and like and like the one extra chick, like the kind of, like, I'm gonna level with you, like the uglier, like extra chick, you know, she's like, so to like the hotter extra chick, she's like, so are we here to cock block or are we stepping in? You know? And like the hotter extra chick's like points at the bed, she's like, get in there and make yourself useful. Like, I swear to God, like word for word. And so I'm like laying there thinking like, oh man, what's going on? Like this is incredible. And I feel these 2 hands on my ankles. You know, they start like tickling their way up my legs, and I'm thinking like what are you doing that for? Like, cut it out, you know? Because I'm starting to think like nobody's gonna get a turn, you know? Because and so then like the uglier extra chick starts like giving me this BJ that's like the toothiest thing ever, man. And I'm like, I'm like, it's like a crocodile was trying to suck my dick, right? You know, I'm like, dude, you know, this is so awesome. I'm thinking hell yeah, like she's keeping me in the game. You know, I've got this ugly chick chewing on my dick, and I'm like stoked about it because like she's like not like, you know, oh man.
Oh, this is
it's a crazy story. And it's
yeah. So basically, the stand-up is about, most of it is about relationships. You've had
your experiences, yeah.
Yeah, my experiences, man.
Wow.
They're the craziest shit.